Were you like showing a countdown?
Angel on the track.
And a view of the OBS studio. But hey, what's up, everybody? We're live. We did it, I think. I don't have confirmation of that, but...
You're watching the confirmation. You're watching yourself at the moment.
Well, yeah, I just turned it on. Oh, yeah, just that was beautiful. Caught like...
Transition.
Caught a split second of OBS on the...
Nice.
Just beautiful work. How's it going, everybody?
No free ad, Jackson.
What?
No free ads.
No. Yeah. Yeah, you know we're gonna have people clamoring.
Unnamed recording software.
Clamoring to sponsor this show. This whatever this ends up being. This is a random group from the sports group. Like, I don't think either of Gordo and Charles, you guys have not met Corey, right?
Never in person.
Right. I mean, we've obviously all talked in the group chat a bunch, but like...
Well, like we did a video call during the Super Bowl last year where I think we talked. But...
Yeah, just briefly.
Yeah. And like fantasy football.
Or fantasy drafts.
Drafts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, so the idea behind this is just like, you know, who knows? Every once in a while, when we can get like at least 4 of us to jump on and shoot the shit, just talk. We can get some random mashups of people in there, because there's like a lot of you that still have not met in person. I haven't seen Corey since I was down there for a track meet last year, I guess.
Yeah.
Several track meets last year.
That was the thing.
That was the thing. I was traveling all over the state for track meets last winter. That was.
Yeah, he was on a big running kick, and all of a sudden it just came crashing down.
Thank you.
That's
Appreciate it. How's your running kick go? I see you've been running right lately.
Oh, me? Yeah. Alexis and I signed up for an 8K on St. Patrick's Day weekend. So I was kind of like, oh, maybe I got to get into it or else I'll die. So
There you go. Where is that? Is that like, I'm trying to think, is it like where I would have like, anywhere I would have been when I was visiting you?
yeah, so you went to the sports center down at the ocean front, but this is happening like on the boardwalk. So it's a pretty flat course.
Oh, it's a
but-
boardwalk. Yeah. I ran
Are you
there.
running
after,
on the boardwalk?
Yeah, like that entire weekend they'll block the streets off, and then it's like a huge weekend. They'll have like 8K, or they'll have a final mile for the kids, then they'll have an 8K, and then a half marathon and a marathon. So it's like one of the biggest races of the year down here.
Is that the like Shamrock thing, like whatever it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm assuming they just open up all the bars on the boardwalk for everyone.
Yeah, sort of.
It becomes less of a healthy event after all the running's done.
Well, it's pretty funny because if you run the half marathon or marathon, you're guaranteed like 4 beers, and it's this big old tent that stretches, I think, like 2 or 3 streets, and they just have Yingling on tap. They got music going, so it's the marathon weekend, but it's also a party.
I mean, it's St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah,
Like,
you'd be persona non grata if you didn't drink.
Exactly.
although I do feel like Yingling is not the St. Patty's Day beer.
It's American.
Right, it should be Guinness.
Or any Irish beer.
Or any Irish, but yeah.
But yeah, Guinness.
Have you guys heard that like Savannah's like a massive place for St.
I
Patrick's
actually,
Day
like,
weekend?
in high school, I went down there. There's a
Did you?
rugby tournament attached to their whole St. Patrick's Day, so I've been down there
Do you-
once,
do
and
you
I
have any
was
idea,
supposed
like,
to go
why?
in college.
Because like the one time, so like Gordo, because like I took that day trip to Savannah when we were at
Oh yeah. Hilton Head.
Hilton Head, and like I went to a bar and the dude was like, "Yeah, this is like one of the biggest places in the U.S. for St. Patty's Day weekend." It was like,
Oh, so I thought you meant Irish people in general. Oh, St. Patty's Day.
no,
I was
not
like,
just
that'd be
Yeah, no,
weird.
well, that's the thing is, like, I
I
don't
would've spit up-
think,
just like why?
I don't
Savannah?
think Savannah is that Irish.
No, I
Like, I don't
wouldn't
think there
think
were that
so.
many Irish people who settled down there.
Is it like just
So
because they have that like river street? Like they have a great street for it, but like almost like there are a lot of places with a nice like river street with
Yeah.
cars.
I mean, you'd think it'd be Boston.
Well, it is Boston's the number
I mean,
one,
yeah.
but then Savannah's the next biggest, and that's just
I would not have Savannah on my list of
No.
the biggest.
That's
Hey,
cool.
it's a cool place.
it's
but-
fun. I recommend you get down there for St. Patrick's Day sometime. Like, I will say, it's fun. But yeah, it is kind of random.
So we need a producer to look up why that's a thing.
Yeah. Yes. Our 0 viewers. We really need
Yeah.
really need a producer here.
We need a producer. We're already guessing.
I told them when you were getting set up. I told them I was like I literally had that thought. 30 minutes into trying to learn how to do this yesterday. I was like I need a producer. I can't.
I am with 0 money that you make from this.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's just for fun. So like, because like I used to do the show obviously like several times a week, like for most of the year, but like I was like trying to make a career out of it. Now it's just for fun. This is a lot more relaxed, which I like. No planning involved. It's great.
No begging people to donate to, what was it, Patreon or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm gonna,
By the way, if you do want to get up
on the
to,
roads of this too. Just to carry the bat with it. Make it
I
more
appreciate
relaxed.
that it's blurring the
Yeah, I was
bat
gonna
out.
say it's like
this
more
is-
menacing than it's
I
blurred.
gotta hold it like this. That doesn't work. I have to unblur my screen then.
Yeah. Also, if you do want to go up to one viewer, Vela is in the
Asking
group
for
chat asking for a link.
Right, but again, I'm full screened on Zoom. I can't exit out to give him the link.
I can do it. I mean, one of us
One
can
of the
do
other
it.
3 can do. Yeah, I can.
Yeah, but I don't know what your YouTube channel is.
Oh, Gordo has it because he was helping me set
What
it
is
up.
it? What is it?
It's the same thing you did earlier. You subscribed yourself to it, so you should be able to.
Oh, I did subscribe myself to it.
Yeah, so just do that and then send it to him. We're figuring this out as we go, and that we're gonna get kicked out. Like the stream is gonna end up by us getting kicked out, and that there's no name for the show. Also, it's really professional over here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, no, I'm glad we were able to get this going. And I think Jamie and Ethan and it seemed like Sean wants to do it at some point. Like, we can like have whoever join.
Okay, quick question.
Yeah.
Who is Sean? Is he in the group chat?
Yeah,
'Cause
Sean
I
Adams.
did not know there was.
Yeah,
Sorry, what?
Yeah, Sean Adams. He's like the big Clemson fan in the
Oh,
group chat.
oh, right. Yes. Okay. Gotcha. Him. Okay. So I'm gonna be honest. Him and Vela run together in my head, like in that group chat. I don't think they are actually all that similar, but they just.
Sean would be very offended by that.
I was about to say.
I'm sure he would, but hey, I've met 3 people in that chat, and well, I guess I've met Gordo a few times, but like in person, I know 3 people from that chat, right? Like you, Jig, and Chris.
Right, Jigme, and he makes a once a year appearance.
Yeah, exactly.
To be like,
Which happened to be the other week.
Yeah, it was the other week, and it was like him not knowing who PFT commenter was and thinking that link was real, which was incredible. I really wish that I hadn't I explained it to him he texted me the same thing he put in the group chat, and I explained it to him, which is why he then put in the group chat like, oh, I got the context. And I really wish I had just fucked with him and been like, yeah, that's absolutely real.
How long do you think he would have believed it for? Because he doesn't follow the NFL.
Yeah, he doesn't follow the NFL. He doesn't know who PFT is.
He wouldn't have picked up on everyone talked about it. He would have just every once in a while heard about the script like they do on ESPN. He could have went months thinking NFL scripted.
I feel like there are plenty of people though who saw that who didn't know that show and were like, "That's obviously fake."
No, I'm not saying that. Yeah, no, it was. No one. There's no way a normal person would actually believe the NFL scripted.
Well, it's really funny because then you got Arian Foster on that show with PFT.
Yeah.
So he was.
Well, PFT was Aaron Foster, the one that at first was talking about the script. He's like, "Oh yeah, no, I get it."
Yeah, that's why everyone was like, "Oh, maybe this is real."
Yeah.
They televise, they live stream practices. I don't get where people
also just the sheer fact that if you start to do the numbers and you're like, oh, 5,000 people would have to be in on this,
5,000 people every year,
every player in the league, every coach in the league, every everybody attached to the league.
I mean, the referees, even the ball boys have to somewhat know because they have the script of the doctors, so people get injured.
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, people get if it's a script, then people are only getting.
I guess. You think about it. Wrestling pulled it off for so long. Granted, there wasn't.
But wrestling pulled it off in a completely different era.
Yeah, it's the era. So it's doable, but yeah, nowadays it's completely impossible.
Okay, well, now that we're talking about sports being scripted and conspiracy theories, what's the sports conspiracy you'd be most likely to actually believe was real? For me, I have an easy answer. For me, it's the Lakers-Kings game from 2002, where the Lakers were called for 35,000 the fourth quarter.
Oh yeah.
When they were up by 30 going to the fourth quarter.
Most of it's NBA stuff.
That one.
I have all of the Tim Donaghy stuff. We don't know half of what they actually.
Well, I think that was part of it. I think that Lakers-Kings game. I think he reffed that.
He reffed that game.
Oh yes, he was one of those. Yeah.
Yeah.
So so I guess by extension, I feel like they're covering up so much.
I guess that one's not really conspiracy so much as he bet on it and reffed it to get what he wanted. That's not.
Yeah,
really...
I don't think he wasn't fixing. I don't think he was fixing games. I think he was point shaving. He was just point shaving.
Right, so that one we're not saying that.
That's
wasn't necessarily the league being we have to have the Lakers.
Well, no. But if you go through and look at what the NBA acknowledges in their report as this is what happened, time periods and whatnot, it doesn't make sense that that's all it would be.
No, there's 100% more. Yeah, 100%. Right. But that's the only. They just admitted to everything that could be literally proven. And everything else is it's clear,
and that's what makes it a conspiracy theory.
Yeah. No, but I was going to say, the Jordan getting banned from the league is way more of a conspiracy theory.
True. Yeah.
I still 100% believe he was banned from the league.
Yeah. You would think like somebody that, I don't know, competitive, like, because what was the real reason? Like, does he still just say it was like he just like had to try baseball? Like,
He said it's because his dad died. He lost he basically just like he lost the competitive like spirit for it and wanted to try. Like his dad always wanted to be a baseball player, so he wanted to see if he could make it.
yeah, it doesn't really make sense with this person.
There's never been a good excuse, not excuse, but like reasoning really for it.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm trying to think. What are the other? There's some good ones. The CP3 trade.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that is weird because that's like to this date the only.
That's like the reverse of the Kings one, though.
It's the only
'Cause
trade
it's
that's
against
like
the
ever
Lakers.
really been, like vetoed by the league, right? Like,
Well, but it wasn't like, so that one was, the league owned the Hornets
They did.
at that point.
right?
Yeah.
Right. So it's different from like them coming in a trade that it involved them essentially.
Yeah, but wouldn't it come down to like basically like they accepted the trade and then they vetoed the trade
Well,
that they
I think that
accepted?
the GM made the trade, and then the owner vetoed it because the
Right.
owner obviously has last say.
Yeah, it's so crazy though because didn't they the reason they gave was like competitive imbalance basically, like.
Yeah, it didn't. Yeah, no, it was kind of BS. I don't really know why they vetoed it.
When at the end of the
As
day,
I recall, it was pretty close to one of the CBAs, so I think it was like a way to appease small market teams and get them.
I
on board
think-
for,
yeah, I
like,
think there- yeah, I
the
think there
next
was
labor
something.
negotiations.
I think there was something to do with like the salary there because it's
Yeah.
not that uncommon for like trades or whatever to be vetoed by the Players Association because of like people aren't going to get as much money. So like the big examples, A-Rod was like signed the contract for the Red Sox, and the MLBPA wouldn't let him like go through with it because he was taking such little money.
Yeah.
So I think the NBA was trying to if CP3 had gone to the Lakers, I think the Lakers would have just gone like ridiculously over the whatever tax in the next year when they signed him, and they were like, there's nothing we can do.
was that what was the idea was Chris Paul, Kobe, and Dwight Howard?
Yeah, because
Sounds right.
I think it's basically the Nash spot was going to be CP3.
CP3, and then I think Chris Paul's contract was coming up soon, and then something with the CBA was it's the same thing where you just go ridiculously over the luxury tax, and don't care how much you spend.
I don't think they even end up like winning that the title if he goes there.
Well, and now knowing how
those
bad
end up
right now-
being like the Heat end up winning those years, so. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. If Dwight doesn't, if somehow CP3 manages to avoid getting Dwight to completely collapse, because you have to remember, Dwight Howard was arguably like the best player in the planet at that point. Like he's in that discussion.
Yeah,
He's
like
at the
09,
very least,
10.
he is definitively the best big man in the league.
Right, he dragged the
There
Magic
was
to
a
the
point where people
finals,
thought Dwight Howard might have been better than LeBron James at that point, and Kobe Bryant was probably third. Because Dwayne Wade had lost a step at that point.
It was like the year like Dwight dragged the Magic to the finals.
Yeah.
Over the Cavs that one year, yeah.
Well, there was 2 years.
It was
I
like
think did he say a
09.
year after that?
It was like 09, something like that.
I thought he said a year after that because there was.
He did
He
say
did.
a year
He stayed
after that
one
because
more.
that's when you get the wonderful little
Yeah.
video clip of him and Stan and that
Yeah.
awkward as hell press conference.
You see,
Yeah,
he just
that
like
was
he made
that was hilarious.
he just made like the All-Star game in like Taiwan or something.
He's like
Yeah.
playing point guard.
Yeah, he's just shooting threes all day. It's
Yeah,
great.
no, he's getting blocked by some people, but he's mainly cooking everyone.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure. I was about to say why is he over there? And I was like, oh yeah, money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder how much he's getting paid. I do wonder.
A lot. Yeah.
But do you think he gets paid more in his contract, or there's just so many different like sponsorship opportunities too?
No, he probably gets paid more because of the contract.
Yeah, it's probably the contract. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like putting a 6'10" giant black man on TV there is like very showing there. Like you recognize the face of him. And he's like, it's a great sponsorship opportunity. You can kind of sell it.
But like, also, there's probably a bunch of the sponsorships on his like contract, like
That
or
could
within
be
the
true.
contract.
That
Is the
could
way
be
a lot
true,
of those international deals work out.
No, but I feel like that's what that's like a lot of those Asian countries when they bring these guys in. I'm sure they just sell so many things. Like Jimmer is like a god over there. But for whatever the Shanghai Sharks.
Freaking Marbury.
Yeah,
Stephon
Marbury lives there at this point. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Manny Ramirez played there for a while. Played in Japan, I think, for a while, maybe Korea.
Yeah.
Like a lot of those guys go over there and they just become not superstars like in the game, but superstars just like in the celebrity sense.
ESPN just did one of those. The videos are so bad. But one of those videos where they have like a pro athlete go undercover at a college.
Oh god. Some of them are funny.
They just did it. They just did it with Jimmer at BYU, and it was stupid. They used to in the past. They at least used to make somewhat of an effort to like make them look relatively like the age of the college kids. Like this one, Jimmer like was clear. He's just clearly 35 years old. Like he's wearing a fat suit and a sweatshirt the entire. He's like it was like a tryout for the team. It was like the most obvious, and obviously like they know because there's cameras around, but.
Yeah, the best one was the Jared Goff one. That was the only like real one.
The Jared Goff one was pretty good
because he legitimately looked like, oh yeah, this could be a JUCO transfer. Like when he walked up and then just started slinging it around.
Or the Eli Manning with the big nose.
That was just funny to look at.
So he didn't look realistic.
He didn't look.
No.
Nobody actually looks like that.
No, there's no way. Yeah. I mean, I guess it's also easier with football because they're wearing helmets. Like during the party, granted, the Jared Goff one, they had like the whatever, like padded.
Yeah, they had those scrum caps on.
But yeah, if you just like sneak him in with the helmet on, you can do whatever. But he guy's 40. There's no way they're gonna make him look like 19.
Dude, I was mostly impressed with Jimmer with how good of a shooter he still was wearing a fat suit. Like that's
gotta be. I would think that'd be very difficult. Shooting a basketball in a fat suit.
Yeah, that can't be. Easy. That can't be easy. I was about to say like that all had to be inspired by Uncle Drew, kind of, but it's kind of the opposite. Like trying to make him look.
Well, it's like I know, but I think
the whole like wig and makeup idea though that all came from Uncle Drew.
Yeah.
I feel like someone was doing it before Uncle Drew though.
Man, looking back now though, like that was like Kyrie at his absolute most likable. Was Uncle Drew like his Uncle Drew?
You mean actually likable? I mean just actually.
When that video first came out, it was like that was great. Like he was like a rookie or second year player at that point.
Yeah, I think it's
like we didn't.
I mean that's kind of what put him into stardom because he was good.
We didn't know much about him
coming out. Granted, he barely played in college. He's good coming out, but like they sucked so much. And then finally, like he became a household name because of the Uncle Drew videos.
At this point, Duke definitely does not like claim him, right?
Like, that's a wonderful.
That's a great question.
I have no idea, to be honest. They really don't.
I'm trying to think if there are any like other out there because they've had so many just like not transcendent, but like people that are very like speak out a lot about stuff. I'm trying to think if there's any other ones.
Because you know how like schools will be like if like somebody that went there wins like a Super Bowl MVP or like finals, like they'll be like congrats, whatever. Like if Kyrie won the finals MVP, would Duke tweet that out and be like congrats?
Yeah.
Well, I feel like Duke, you only hear mention of Kyrie in any Duke post if it's any other player from Duke was like saying like good game or to him or something like that.
Oh yeah,
regular season game. And claim the brotherhood.
That's that. Yeah,
that's the. I feel like that's the only time, at least I ever see any mentions of him. With the whole.
Granted, it's
also like he barely did anything at Duke. He was there for 1 year and was injured for half of it.
I think he played less than 15 games. I think.
Yeah, and it's not like it's a Duke team that won the title. It's not like he came back in March and won them the title. So.
Yeah,
you kind of even forget he went to Duke.
It's like one of those things where guys who have actually gone through, even if they were a 1 year guy, they went on and had a deep run in the tournament or even won them a championship. They're getting more shout out.
Yeah,
Duke than someone like
I guess my point is Duke can afford to be picky about the players that it wants to honor.
Right.
Yeah.
Which makes it insane that they are out here claiming Grayson Allen. Why?
I mean, you say that, but I mean, it's not like they're like churning out these like NBA stars really until recently.
I mean, yeah, but...
I mean, obviously recently, I mean, RJ Barrett's very good, Brandon Ingram's very good, Zion's obviously Zion. But like you look at those...
Jason Tatum...
Yeah,
Get him?
he's he gets a lot of shout
but you
outs.
look at like those 2000 to like 2010, 2012, like right before Kyrie. Most of those guys were more like your typical Duke guys that were just good college players.
Yes, they were Plumlee brothers. We get it.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a bunch of Plumlee brothers.
Yeah, like
And Chris
JJ
Slater
Redick
was supposed to be good.
Redick was probably like the best of that group. Like
Yeah,
probably.
I never really heard anything about Shire after he left until he
any,
came.
Shire didn't do anything.
There are any
I mean,
calls for
Sheldon
his
Williams
job
was
yet?
supposed to be one that was good.
Anyone
But he didn't
calling
turn
for
into
Shire to get
anything.
fired yet?
I don't know. There aren't many. UNC is usually the one that turns out like the more NBA players, but Duke is like the better team, like respectful every year.
How did Tyler Hansbrough wind up at UNC?
I have no idea.
Where's he from?
The better question is when we talk about
Actually.
John
Let's
Wall
see.
said Tyler Hansbrough is the reason he didn't go to UNC.
John Walls.
Yeah, but honestly, that just makes him seem more like a Duke white guy than ever.
Exactly.
I hate Tyler Hansbrough. I hate him so much.
I mean, he just
I never liked him when
nothing's.
he played in college. I don't like.
I mean, nothing's more annoying than the picture of him when he's like he hits the game winner and like the one baseline does like the weird hand thing running down the court.
Yeah,
So
he's from Missouri apparently.
Was
Okay, well I mean
was
not
he
that
in
makes
Missouri?
sense
Yeah.
that he went to UNC, but I'm not surprised he didn't stay home.
yeah,
Yeah,
he's not going to Missouri.
but I'm just like, okay.
Was that pre?
A Midwest guy, you have to think Indiana probably recruited him.
Oh, absolutely.
Was that pre Frank Haith at Missouri? Had to be, right?
I don't know who
That would
is.
have been.
When was Haith there? Haith was there a while ago.
I have no idea who that is.
Frank Haith, he's been like he's pitched in Miami as well. He's very big on recruiting violations. I want to say Tyler Hansbrough was that 2008 his first year or his last year?
Hansbrough was at
I think that was his
UNC.
They won the title when he was.
So 08 would have been his. See, he was in the 09 draft. So
Oh no, so 08 was his last year.
Yeah.
Frank Haith was at he was at Miami before Missouri. I'm sorry, I flipped him. Miami was 04 to 11, then he was at Missouri from 11 to 14.
okay.
So yeah, okay, that's what I was thinking. I knew he was at one of those schools.
Apparently, Hansbrough is still playing professionally in Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico, I saw that actually.
Wow,
Huh.
Overseas.
that is some
Well,
dedication.
not really.
Uh,
Over a little bit of ocean.
Well, getting off sports for a second, just talking about conspiracy stuff made me think about. Have you guys seen any of the stuff about the train derailment in Ohio?
Oh yeah.
Other than I saw the video, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Is that the large explosion that happened or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's
A bunch
like
of nuclear waste.
like the first stuff that was coming out was people going like, why isn't this being talked about? Now it's being talked about. But like, I don't know. It seems like a shit show from what I've been reading. Just kind of a chemical disaster, and like people had to leave their town, but like they were told it was safe to come back, and like people have all these like crazy symptoms now, like throats burning and like pets dying and all this shit. It seems
it's like almost a real life Chernobyl. I mean, not as bad as Chernobyl, obviously,
Well, no.
but it's like a real life thing where basically just a bunch of chemicals were just blown up.
Well, so the thing that was like coming out, and the reason why I related to conspiracy is people were saying, like, people in the town were talking about like, oh, like they're covering it up, like what's actually going on. I think the more likely thing is that they're just like a disaster in community, like just a really poor communication probably.
Yeah.
But
So the people who were, transporting this chemical waste, there are certain things you're supposed to do when you're transporting that waste. One of which is, you pay for hazmat teams. They somehow managed to get this train load classified so that it's basically not what it is, a bunch of chemical waste. So there's that aspect of it, which is, sketchy as hell. But that's just like standard government corruption. Hey, we got 10 minutes
10
left.
minutes.
Yeah. Appreciate Zoom letting us know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be funnier if it just cut off without warning.
Yeah. Just mid-set Sopranos style.
So they got it classified so they didn't have to have that like readily,
Right.
available.
So suddenly, they're not having to pay for this cleanup, and it's all just it's sketchy as hell.
It's basically. I'm sure it happens all the time where they try to.
Oh
sneak
yeah.
it in.
Yeah,
And
just this is the
they
one
don't follow
that
protocol
derailed.
because it's cheaper, and then this one just happened to get derailed.
And they came out.
Yeah.
They came out like yesterday. I think it was the railroad company, and they were like, "Yeah, we're not entirely sure how much got into the ground versus how much burned off. Like, we don't really know."
Oh, good.
Yeah.
But they were
Right.
like, the people who had evacuated, they're like, "It's safe to come back, but we don't know how much is still in town."
Don't worry, it flows into the Mississippi River eventually.
We had one of my dad's, I think it was like his great uncle or someone. They had a bunch of land on it was like an Amtrak, through an Amtrak train railroad, and they were just dumping a ton of chemicals. And they had to they were in court for like 35 years because Amtrak kept saying we weren't actually dumping chemicals, and they finally admitted it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess granted it wasn't not truly hazardous chemicals, but chemicals that make you not be able to plant whatever, like food and everything.
Oh yeah, this is going to be in and out of court for
No.
30
Oh yeah,
years too.
no. I was about to say, as when you're talking about conspiracy theories, if they do try to cover up, it's gonna be like a 25-year cover up.
Which is like medical damages. People are going to sue them for medical damages forever.
Oh yeah, 100, yeah. I was about to say one thing just for like the leg, if your grass dies and you have especially I don't know out there how much farming land that it is, but that would be
farmland.
I was about to say that's going to be one. There's going to be so many different types of lawsuits between medical, just your regular land, the explosion part, and
property,
obviously farmland.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I saw one woman was talking about it really fucked up her cat, and her cat needed surgery to fix what happened to it, and the surgery was like $16,000, and the railroad company wouldn't give it to her, and then she had to just put her cat down because that was the cheaper option. And so now she's gonna sue them for it.
Did they put a price of a cat's life?
Oh God!
Well, they have to.
Adjusters.
I
Yeah,
guess you have to. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't see that part of it, but yeah, I guess you have to. I don't know. My cat's sitting right. Iverson, how much is your life worth?
Depends on what day it is.
No answer. He just rolled over. Okay.
No, they do. They literally, if you Google it, they'll tell you how much. And it turns out it'll tell you how much his life is worth. I think it's by age, obviously.
Is that how?
It's just
is that how humans work too? Does our value go down as we get older?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Jeez.
Why do you think it's like? I mean, why do you think it's like life insurance?
Right. That's what I mean. Yeah. So that goes that value of that.
Well, okay, but so with life insurance, you generally actually buy a fixed amount that's going to pay out. This is more it's like malpractice insurance for hospitals. Let's say a hospital kills you. They have an insurance company that, that they pay, and basically then that insurance company has to cover the damages from your malpractice lawsuit or your next of kin's malpractice lawsuit. They are the ones who have this whole calculating scale on, okay, your life would have been worth this much if they hadn't killed you, so that's what you get.
Well, you can also there's a golfer, Anthony Kim, who got injured, and he basically insured himself. If he gets injured, he would get paid out a certain amount of money, and it's like a future earnings thing. So since he got injured and can't play anymore, there's debates on whether or not he can play anymore. But if he steps off foot on a PGA Tour golf course, he has to pay back a ton of money, or he doesn't keep getting these checks. So he's just living in the middle of nowhere, just surviving. And so they literally put a dollar amount on, hey, you were worth this much in your career.
Yeah, celebrities do that with their face, hand models insure their hands, all sorts of stuff like that. Yeah.
I think there was someone did a skit about a porn star, whatchamacallit, insuring their genitalia.
Yeah, that makes sense. Jeez. Yeah, that was a disaster, and that's they're gonna be dealing with that for the next literally 30 or 40 years.
Yeah. It's been a banner week for conspiracy theories because
I was about to say these balloons.
UFOs.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
All these balloons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do find it hysterical that the F-22 has one aerial kill. We paid $39 trillion for the program or something, and they have one kill, a hot air balloon. It makes me smile.
I did like like everyone on Twitter when the press secretary came out saying like there's no aliens, blah blah blah, and everyone's tweeting out. That's exactly what a government that doesn't want you to think aliens would say.
Yes. Man.
Well, we don't have a lot of time left, so I did want to, because we mentioned it before the show started. A couple of you started playing the new the Hogwarts Legacy game. How's it been so far?
Oh, I want to hear about this.
I've
really
just
good.
started. Yeah, it's so good. I've just started getting into the castle, the Hogwarts castle, and I'm still loving it.
So like you just wander around and it's got so many just wonderful little things from the book that are there. Like you just it's definitely like Skyrim levels of why would I ever do the main quest line and advance through this game? I'm just gonna wander around Hogwarts for hours.
That's what I was worried about. There not being enough of. So I'm glad.
No, you won't like it, Jack. You can't just you can't just kill random people.
Well, it's really
you can't do that. You can
kill people.
You can pet cats.
You can pet cats.
You can also cast Leviosa on cats and just make them float around.
Yes.
So
you can.
The important things are all there.
You can kill people in the game.
You could just do side missions and just like OP yourself, and then do the main storyline.
No, like I think I'm level 14 or 15. My main storyline quest levels are like 4 and 3.
Yeah, so you're just like throwing these dudes however you.
Oh yeah.
Flowing through the storyline.
Yeah, so
it's basically the reverse of Elden Ring, where you're basically you're doing all these side quests and then doing the main. Whereas Elden Ring, you get to like a main, like every boss you get to, like, all right, I gotta go do all the other side quests or just go kill random things for 10 hours before I can come back because I'm way under leveled.
Well, then I ended up finding because did y'all ever play Elden Ring?
I actually beat it.
I don't enjoy sadism as a form of entertainment. No,
that's fair. That's very fair.
There was like an exploit with like this big ginormous bird, and I would just sit for like hours just farming this bird because you get so much experience, and I would just level up my guy every time.
I did. There was one I did. It was like these little, I don't know what they were, but it was in one of the later game stages, but it was like still one hit because even if I was low leveled, and I'd just go over there and kill like 50 of them in like 2 minutes, and I just go back, level up, reset all the ones I already killed, and keep doing it.
All right, you just go back to the sit point.
Save point. You literally just go back. Literally, like part of the game is just sitting there and just like mindless going around, and like you go one shot all these things, come back, reset. If you want to level up, you can, and then they're all back there and just do the same thing.
Yep, pretty much.
I did just realize there is a workaround to the whole Zoom ending early thing. It doesn't necessarily have to be for today, but like we can literally like exit out. I can put up a slate and we can rejoin. It takes like 20 seconds to do that. So that is always an option. But yeah. No, I haven't played it yet. I can't get it yet. But no, I did read you can kill people. You like can learn how to kill people in the Hogwarts game though. But like, I think it's mostly in like the dueling arena. Like
towards the dueling arena. Well, you can't like cast spells. You really can't cast any spells. At least I can't yet on any like the classmates. Like just in like the wild, like the roaming around Hogwarts.
Yeah, I don't think it lets you do anything like that. I think I would have accidentally caught some people on fire if I could. So I'm pretty sure you can't affect them.
It's not like a Red Dead Redemption or whatever where like there's like NPCs that are like actually like you can actually strike or hit them with anything.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make it through God of War first before I.
Oh jeez.
I
wish I had a play. That's the one reason. That's one of the few games I wish I had a PlayStation for.
We are under a minute.
Yeah, but it doesn't give us a second, so we are probably going to get the wonderful.
Yeah, we'll get cut on just in less than a minute.
Yep. Just gonna cut. I was disappointed. My main objective with that game was I wanted to join the dead. Oh. There we go. That's great.